Studio as well. Herman Manyora, it's getting out of hand, isn't it?
I just said you can't understand. This is an animal now, an octopus. You can't arrest it. You say, oh, mine is just advice. You see, culture or no culture. Seeing a sick person has some element of protocol, even in the village. You get it? Somebody can be in a state at that particular time that you can't see him. So it's possible. And all these things they are saying are possible. Mine is simple advice to the team of Deputy President William Ruto. Do not act in panic. Sit back, relax, and watch the game. Let the mistakes come from the other side, like they are truly Miss Blunder. There will be many. Just keep quiet, sit and watch them. But the way they are now moving, thinking they are countering the move from the other side, they will lose because a combination of Uhuru and Raila is a giant you can't face physically. You need to do so in a shrewd manner.
Will we as
More
Kenyans,
of a fox.
Will we as Kenyans ever get to know what really happened yesterday? Because in the back and forth that I'm now seeing, which I'm sure now will be replicated in rallies across the country this weekend, the truth might get lost. Will we know the facts?
It will be very difficult to know the truth. You see, when you are talking about the person of President Moi, somebody of that caliber, and somebody like the Deputy President, it is not easy to penetrate those offices and get the truth. Innuendo, rumors, speculations, conspiracy theories, all those we shall have, and then the social media will have a field day.
I think we, the media, have a tough task. We need to find out what really happened and clarify, because what I've just heard can be very confusing. Back and forth. Dunstan, come in.
We are in a scenario of 2002. Where there were two tribesmen from Central Province, Uhuru Kenyatta and Uhuru Kenyatta and retired President Mwai Kibaki battling for the race.
Uhuru or Matiba?
It was Uhuru. 202 was Matiba and Kibaki.
Yes.
No, 202. Not 202, 1992.
Yes.
The same was replicated in 202 where Uhuru Kenyatta and Mwai Kibaki battled it out.
That's right.
In 2022, there's a likelihood it will also now be between Gideon Moi and William Ruto. Where do the Kenyans go? Where do the other tribesmen go? My fellow brothers and sisters in the country, look at the suckers in the rift. What is being fought about? Is it our resources? Wahiga. Is it our resources that these two families are fighting about? So the question is, what is there for a Kenyan in this drama that we are seeing? In fact, the Kenyans are nowhere.
That's how we need to wrap up this discussion, because in all this, we haven't talked about corruption, which is something the president mentioned in his speech. There's no big four. It's all getting lost in this narrative.
In a master stroke, this president's speech at Parliament has been watered down. In a master stroke, the agenda 4, the big 4, have been taken to in the next rallies for the next 1 month. This is the discussion that we are going to continue dealing with. So in my own view is that we are a country that we should have ignored even this thing. Look at where the source of this information comes from. It is from the retired president's press team. The deputy president kept quiet about it. Now it has become a national discussion. Everybody is talking about how this thing is. So in my own view, I think the agenda we are missing is how to make the handshake translate it more prosperity, economic prosperity, peaceful prosperity, and our children and our families make better living. Remember 2013, 2017, the country was at standstill. And now we are entering into another standstill of people who have gone and they have been denied access to visit, to greet anybody. Wahiga, Manyora wants to come to my place over the weekend. What is the issue about it? So in my own view, I think that whatever is happening, I differ with the prof very well, that William Ruto waits. 11 former vice presidents waited from Jaramogi Oginga Odinga.
And you saw what happened to them.
And none of them succeeded. William Ruto, it is only one who succeeded courtesy of a natural calamity called death.
That's right.
So William Ruto is aware that any time you sit and wait, You'll be told what Saitoti was told at Kasarani. Oh, professor, not this professor. Urafiki ni tofauti na uongozi. He was not in the list. So William Ruto has clearly identified the targets for him to demolish before that time of 2022. And he has only this year and next year to make it impossible for anybody to be a candidate against him. And that is why you see William is trying to move very fast. I'm not holding forth for William, but I'm looking at a politician who is alive to the reality that people must fight to get power. People are never given power.
You don't punch, don't punch beyond your
almost forgotten about this. I'm coming to you to get short closing comments. About a year or so ago, the Deputy President spoke at a rally, and we also know that Senator Moi also spoke at a rally, and that time one began to get a sense of what was going to happen in the race to 2022. We traced some of that footage, and here it is for you.
Vizuri. 2013 wakati sisi tunapanga kuunda serikali, Uhuru na Kenyatta na mimi tulipanga tukaunda Jubilee kwenda kutafuta serikali. Wale wengine wakitendawili wakapanga, tukashindana na wao. Watu wakanu hapa wakapanga, hawakujua hata wanaenda wapi. Mwisho hawakupata serikali, hawakupata upinzani. Sasa hawajijui hata wako wapi. Ndio unaona wanamangamanga hapa, hawaelewi wako pande hii, wako pande ile, wanahangaika hapa katikati na fitina ya bure. Kwa hivyo seneta wenu ajipange. Ajipange vizuri. Sione ya kwamba atiko hapa watajaza karata hiyo ya guesswork. Kutuambia sijui nini. They have no plan.
Akan machomo kita guys. Matobo atuleo 2022 migi take ni moyo wa Swahili kutangulia sioku onai no tagamoge.
All right, Bwana Manyora, as your closing comment, as you briefly comment on that, where does this leave President Uhuru Kenyatta and his agenda, and where is Raila in the midst of all this? Let me get that as your final comment.
Quickly first, in terms of Ruto fighting back, if he punches at Raila and Uhuru, he's boxing above his weight. He's hitting a rock. If he tries to punch Gideon Moi, he's punching in the shadows. Gideon Moi is not anywhere now. You are punching in the air, in the shadows. Either way, you are wasting your time. For Uhuru Kenyatta, he's in a difficult position. The only reason why it will not be difficult for him, he's not you and he's not Manyora. An ordinary person will have a problem looking at somebody who has helped you the way Ruto has helped Kenyatta and tell him, I'm not with you anymore. But for politicians, that is game. It's rubbish. They can do it anytime. They can. In fact, somebody said the reason Moi was able to withstand the tough times of 1990-91, or Pepo Mukali as he called it, somebody wrote in some paper in the UK, he said, the one quality that Moi has is to be able to be with you, to benefit from you, and when the time comes, he discards you, throws you under the bus without feeling anything. Those are politicians. So to answer your question, because Uhuru Kenyatta is a politician, he may feel nothing about even looking at Ruto in the eyes and telling him the way the things are going in this country is no longer tenable for you to succeed me. Because he's a politician. If it was you and I, to answer your question, you can understand it will be very difficult. Because without Ruto, Uhuru would not have become president at all. But he's a politician. For Raila, he's enjoying every bit of the game.
Dunstan, brief comment. Final one, please.
My final comment is that William Ruto has clearly narrowed his game to make no alternative available to be given the ticket of the handshake. He has said, I must cut all that has a possibility of being the beneficiary of that. And the first is to cut that from his stronghold, Rift Valley. He cannot go to the battle with whoever will be in the ballot of 2022 when his backyard is divided. I've given you the narrative that once William Ruto took over the control of Rift Valley. You saw the passion and the struggle and the tenacity of regaining the Kericho senatorial seat when it was Gideon Moi versus William Ruto. The battle between Sang and the senator of Kericho. William is a threatened person. Achebe says when you see a toad jumping on broad daylight, it has a history and it has known that its life is in danger. William's life, political life, is in danger, and he has identified who his targets are. So in my own view, I think that he has no capacity at all to challenge the president, and he knows it. He has no capacity at all to now even comment anything negative about Raila Odinga, but he will allow the two people who have had a handshake have no opportunity to hand that handshake to Professor Manyora. So if Manyora is the beneficiary, Manyora will be made a person not fit to be handed over that baton. So that is what William Ruto is doing. That let him consolidate Rift Valley, let him consolidate all over. By the time it comes to 2019, he will deal with the consequences. And is a very, very great strategy. The handlers have achieved.
Fair enough. Let me bring in, and gentlemen, thank you so much for finding time to be here with me today. Let me get a final comment now from the Speaker of Nairobi County, Beatrice Elachi. Mheshimiwa, thank you so much for finding time to be here with us on phone. Nevertheless, let me get your thoughts. I'm sure you've had a chance to listen to what some of my guests, both here in studio and in different locations, have had to say.
Thank you very much. And I know I've listened to my great counsel, I've listened to my professor, but my take is very different, Wahiga, because for me, first of all, I have to respect the former president being our leader of the country and also an elder of this country. At the age he is in now, surely we cannot be speculating so many things, knowing very well he can wake up in the morning, but at one point he might feel he needs to rest and goes to rest. So sometimes we are speculating, we are talking so much about it, and we are not asking ourselves, who are we talking about? Are we talking about a young person? Are we talking about a person? We are talking about the former president who just came in recently from Israel, who I believe in the afternoon should be resting. And therefore, for me, the handler of the deputy president on all these issues, I think outplayed them. Number two, when you realize how even former prime minister went to meet Moi, I mean, surely you realize we did not even see the media. People saw the photos. So I don't know why this one started with media and now it's all over, and now we are now taking it a different angle. I think even my former president might be wondering, what is this we are talking about? So the thing that the deputy president should do is, one, for me, the issue of this presidency of 2022 is something that also God plans in all his ways. And if I was him, I will let God's plan work the way it's supposed to work. And I will leave these things and receive and ask his God. His guards are handling the whole process. It's as if it's a do or die. It's not a do or die. And surely do or die, the president? No. So his handlers are trying to tell us it's a do or die or what happens then to the country. So he has been a sober leader. He is one of those leaders we have expected. The deputy president has managed every crisis. I want him to sit down with his team and rethink and manage, because we cannot have a fight in Rift Valley between deputy president and Senator Gideon Moi. I mean, it is not making us anything good for themselves. It is going to split them more. We are not going to have a battle of the North Rift and the Baringos. What is all that? I mean, and yes, we have no idea what God has planned for each of them going forward. So for me, we have had a handshake. That handshake is what working magic in other ways. Let us not now bring something else from Rift Valley to brew and spoil everything. Because, you know, we are talking, but don't forget, in Rift Valley, we have our deputy president for the Republic of Kenya. And therefore, if this handshake has to work, they will need the support of the deputy president. If the handlers decide that handshake cannot work, by the way, it won't work. They will be the ones to mess. They're in parliament. They will be the ones to sabotage every move that moves. So why can't we first ask ourselves, how do we support His Excellency the President, who has not said, I will not support my brother when it comes to 2022. You see, those are the many things now we are, it's as if the fight is just between Gideon and that is one tribe. They cannot make any president, both of them. They need us.
Okay.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. Madam Speaker, thank you so much. I think your point has come out quite clearly and your thoughts are very sobering at a time when some of the speakers that we have had today got a bit emotional about the issue of what actually happened yesterday. Thank you so much as the Speaker of Nairobi County, Honorable Beatrice Elachi. To my guests here in studio, Danstan Omari and Herman Manyora, thank you so much as well for finding time to be here with us. And to everyone who watched this broadcast, Citizen Extra isn't over. Stay tuned. When we return, we'll be talking about HELB. And of course, you know, for HELB defaulters yesterday, it was announced that you have a 100% waiver on penalties until the 30th of June 2018, as announced by Education CS Amina Mohammed. What are your questions about this waiver and about matters HELB as well? The CEO will be joining me, should I say, in the next few minutes to have that discussion, so stay tuned for that. We'll be right back.